so let's talk about prepping the car before you coat the car. And a lot of people have their own ways of doing it, and they probably will think I'm wrong. But most of those people haven't been doing it as long as I have and haven't fucked up coatings as much as I have to learn these lessons. All right, so I use a variety of products. I don't just use IGL. I don't just use G-Technique. I use them both. And occasionally I use random other shit too. Right, I'm not a one coating type guy. I like to look for different things, although I keep coming back to IGL and G-Technique because they're the only ones that I've used so far that really stand the test of time and are durable. But here's the secret. A lot of these people who get into ceramic coatings, they read the instructions and take them literally, right? They don't use deductive reasoning. They don't use common sense. They say, what's really going to clean the paint? What's really going to get the paint to be perfectly clean? And I'm working on this first gen Viper. This is an original paint car. I've already corrected this car like 2 years ago and coated it with CSL and XO, right? Problem was his kids ran their hands all the way around it while it was dusty one day and scratched the shit out of it. So it's been like that for about a year, and he's like, you know what, let's do it again. This time it's going to be garage covered. No one's going to touch it. All right. So that's what I'm doing today. I finished polishing, finished correcting it. All right, it's already back up to 98% perfect, and you know, now it's ready to coat, but it's not ready to coat. See, this is Dodge paint. It's kind of like a medium solid paint. It's not too soft, not too hard, easy to correct, but also durable enough to not scratch the shit out of it when you're washing it. So a lot of guys, you know, who use IGL, use pre-coat, right? And they think, oh, okay, I pre-coated the panel, that's enough. A lot of guys with optimal polishes, oh, I use paint prep, that's enough. A lot of guys with G-Technique, they use panel wipe, oh, that's enough. A lot of guys don't use a headlamp when they're wiping the paint down. Well, the reason why I use a headlamp when I wipe the paint down is to see if my panel prep is marring the fucking paint, because it can, because it's a high solvent, right? Pre-coat's very known for this, and so is panel wipe. Panel wipe will fuck a panel up really good. So will pre-coat. It doesn't matter how hard or soft the paint is. If the solvent is strong enough, it's gonna break down the clear coat and cause it to soften and scratch. Even with 450 GSM, actually these are 470 GSM edgeless towels, right? Doesn't matter. I'm doing this car with paint prep because the paint's kind of soft, right? So I use paint prep, go around the car with 2 towels, one to apply, one to remove, right? And of course, I know that's not going to remove everything. So what do I do? Okay, very, very simple. Super, super easy, guys. So you correct, you cut, you polish, you panel wipe, or prep your panels, whatever, what have you. And then what's the next step? This is what I do. Now most guys will take it outside, they'll wash the car, they use a heavy alkaline soap. But what people don't realize is the alkaline soaps leave a lot of residue behind. They don't all wash off. So a lot of times, washing it after you correct it isn't always the best option, right? I usually do that if it's really dusty. If it's really dusty, I'll just give it a quick blast to get all the dust blown out of the cracks and crevices. But what I'm going to tell you is very important. Get yourself a new black pad. Don't use it for polishing at all, right? A new black pad, put it on your machine. Get some distilled water and 3 tablespoons per 32 ounces of 90% rubbing alcohol. You don't even have to use the alcohol. I just use the alcohol because it works. The alcohol is going to help break down some of the remaining residue, right? And if you're using the machine to agitate it, you're water polishing the paint, right? I used to do this to Ferraris because Ferraris have butter soft paint, and the only thing that would finish the Ferrari paint down was fucking water and a black pad. Actually, it was water and a waxing pad, right? So, water polish the panel. Use a brand new towel or a freshly cleaned towel and wipe the panel down, and use your headlamp to look and see if there's streaks, if there's marring. You'll have a better idea of how clean the panel is. Another really neat trick is get yourself some high quality masking tape. Put it on the panel. If it fights you coming off, you know your paint's clean, right? In some cases, it'll still resist, even if the paint has a little bit of oil on it. So go that extra step and prep the car properly. One panel at a time, fresh, clean black pad with a little bit of water and rubbing alcohol. Polish it into the paint like you're polishing it with a jeweling polish. Wipe it off and take a look. Use the Scotch tape if you want to check to see the tackiness of the surface, or just, trust the method. Trust that it's going to work. And you know what? I haven't had a single IGL Kenzo failure, an XO failure, CSL failure, quartz failure, and I've been doing it for 3 years. It is the best way to cleanse the paint. I promise you. And it can even take some micro marring out, believe it or not. It does have some level of abrasiveness. So that's it. That's the tip. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped somebody. Take care, guys.